Dear children, today the church celebrates the feast of Holy Family. And we know that this feast is a very important feast and that is celebrated soon after the Sunday that comes after Christmas. Jesus was God, but he could directly come down on earth as a God, but he took a form of a human, a baby, and was born in a stable in a manger. Just to tell us that that family is important. Family is an integral part of our society. And we know that family forms the basic cell of our society. Just as we have so many cells in our body, so also family is the basic unit of our society. So today, all the three readings, they give us a teaching on family life. I want to stress three areas today which will serve us a lesson, maybe for parents first of all, for children. Now coming to parents, let us see what a famous author, Father Ronald Rolheisermon, has to say regarding our parenting. He says, "The children we have are not really ours. They are given to us in trust for a time, a short time really. And we are asked to be mothers and fathers, mentors and friends to them. But they are never really our children. If we understand this, we will be less inclined to act as owners, to manipulate our children for our own needs, to see them as satellites within our own orbits." Yes, my dear parents, our children are a gift to us. And today, in the second reading, letter to the Colossians, St. Paul tells the parents, "Do not provoke your children or do not discourage them." Because we know many times we discipline our children, but St. Paul tells us that obedience should not be due to fear, but obedience should be out of respect and love. So it should not be a forceful obedience, because it will never help a child. When I discipline my child, it should help him in his future. The purpose of child's discipline should be always child's true welfare. So also, St. Paul tells the parents, especially both husband and wife, to obey each other. He tells wives to obey the husband, not as a blind obedience, not a servile obedience, but obedience that will promote good, promote harmony in the family. And also, St. Paul tells the husbands not to treat the wife as an object, as a slave, but also give due honor, due respect to them, to the wives. Three things, my dear friends, my dear children, this reading tells us. First of all, our families Our families are not perfect families. Pope Francis tells us that perfect families are found only in heaven. On earth, we have all sort of imperfections. That's what we see in the life of the family of Mary and Joseph. So many weaknesses, so many imperfections they had. Right from the time of engagement or betrothal, when Joseph came to know that Mary was pregnant, he wanted to divorce her because it was a shame. Not to publicly shame her, but out of respect, Joseph wanted to divorce Mother Mary. But God's plans are not our plans. When the angel appeared and told him that it is by God's power that everything has taken place, especially the pregnancy, Joseph accepts. And today's gospel, we know that the angel commands him again to go to Egypt because the child is in danger. Herod wants to kill him. So you see, so many adversaries, so many ups and downs in the family of Joseph. And we know once, when Jesus was 12 years old, when he was taken to the temple, Jesus gets lost. And for 3 days, they keep searching for him. And finally, when they find him in the temple, Jesus says them that he should be in his father's house. Maybe it was a shock for both of them. So we see in the life of the family of Jesus, his parents themselves, they had so many imperfections. So why this family is called the Holy Family? The first reason is they gave God the first place. We see the family was very devout and very religious, so much so they used to go to Bethlehem to carry on all the duties which were required by the law, religious law. Though it is not required for Jesus to do all this because he himself is God, but to give us an example to obey the law and also to identify himself with us, Jesus did this. He carried out the religious duties. So first, my dear friends, my dear children, giving God the first place. Many times I see when we declare a holiday for catechism, parents don't get the children for Mass even for Sundays. Or when there are any religious activities in the church, very few turn up. Is God the first in my life, in our family? What about our family prayers? The Angelus of the Rosary. Are we faithful to the family prayers? Let us ask ourselves. The second thing, there was respect, or there was care and concern for each other. That's what we see in the second reading, letter to Colossians. St. Paul tells the people in Colossians to practice the virtues of compassion, kindness, lowliness, meekness, patience, forbearance, and forgiveness, because these are the very values that will run a family, which are important for a smooth functioning of a family. We know parents today, the greatest thing that we lack is our time, our presence for our children. We give them material things, thinking that they will be happy, but deep down they look for our presence. And by being with them, by giving our time, all these values which I mentioned in the second reading, they can be inculcated in our family life. And the third is care and concern. That's what we see in the first reading, in the book of Sirach. The writer says to the children, when a father grows old, do not disregard him because of his age, or don't give him respect. Because if you do this, it will anger God, because our parents are in place of God. But on the other hand, if you respect your parents in their old age, if you take care of them, your reward is already in heaven. Not only that, your sins are forgiven. And it is said that the children who take care of the parents in their old age will live a very long life. Not only that, God blesses them. And the blessing is so much that God Himself, the children themselves will see the act that they do to their parents, and one day the children themselves will repay them what they have done. So as we end this reflection on family, some suggestions or some help for us as we march on the new year. Let us inculcate some things. I would not say all the things, but at least some things for us this year, so that we may have a family which is modeled after the Holy Family. And the things are coming together at least one time for family prayer and reciting the Holy Rosary. Second, making Sunday a special family day, studying a portion of Bible together, keeping away the TV, mobile for some time, or at least spending time especially together as family. Creating a sacred space in the house with holy images. Maybe you can have a small room for yourself, so that the prayer area becomes an area of prayer. Before you go out, children, take blessings from your parents. Have a small font of holy water in the house and regularly bless yourself. Practicing one virtue a month together as a family. Celebrating a saint for a week by having special prayers or learning more about the saint. Or reading small portion of Catechism of Catholic Church during our family prayers. Or getting out together as family once a month, maybe once in 3 months or 6 months, reach out in service to someone in need. And reading the passages of the Bible, first, second reading and the Gospel before going for Mass, especially on Sundays. Having meals together and avoiding electronic gadgets like the TV or books. Or each member of the family making a small prayer in person word during family prayer. Or holding each other's hands with forgiveness and joy in the heart sometime during family prayer. Or giving a meaningful sign of peace and joy after the prayer. And reciting Divine Mercy Chaplet, and at least once a month confession. So these are some of the things, my dear children, recommended for us, or I would suggest for you to inculcate them so that our families may be strengthened and our families may be, the Holy Family may be a model for our families.